Hey, it's me again. A little bit more insight on that trigger mod I was telling you about on the stock AR trigger, at least on this Bushmaster carbon. It was extremely stiff, and I was looking at maybe doing a drop-in trigger or something and saw they were $200, and I was like, wow. Wasn't really ready to spend that much money, seeing as I'm looking to build an AR-10 for the more accurate stuff, but I figured I would try to improve the stock trigger by a little bit. So I did some research online and found some stuff, and I'll show you what I ended up doing. But as you can see, I mean, I can't show you the rate of pull or whatever, but if you shot them, you know that they're stiff and they do wear in and break in some and get a little lighter. But I wanted to lighten it up and make it crisper, not as gritty. So did a couple of small things, and as you can see, it's just real simple. And I forgot to put a piece of cardboard between my hammer and my receiver that time, but it's just a real simple model. All you pretty much need is a set of pliers, and if you know how to take your AR apart, which I'm no expert by any means, but it's not very hard to figure out. Just take out your two pins on your trigger after you get your safety out by having it at the 45 between the safe and the fire, right between. You can tap it out instead of taking off your grip. So think pull your hammer out first, and then your and then pull out your trigger. And of course, I didn't prepare myself, so I don't have the tools. I was trying to drive the hammer pin out with just a spent casing, but that didn't work so great. So I pulled my trigger out first, of course, or tried to at least. As you know, the pins can be pretty stiff on a relatively new rifle, but it's pretty easy what you do. Now I just gotta get my trigger out. I got the hammer out. Okay. As you can see, there's my hammer spring, and that'd be on the left side if you're looking down the gun. And what I read on an article was to just simply cut my right side hammer spring so it was about 1/4 of an inch long, and they're not quite matched up now. That might have just been recent, but I haven't had any problems with it. No misfires, and I am shooting crappy ammo. I'm just shooting the 55 grain full metal jacket American Eagle stuff. I was shooting a little bit of the Herder stuff from Cabela's, but this stuff's $5.97 a box at Walmart, and it's brass, so you can reload it. But I'm gonna be switching over my ammo again and getting it online. I'm gonna be getting 1,000 rounds here soon, but that's what I'm shooting. And I haven't had problems with this trigger mod with the primers not going off. But that's what you do to the hammer. You just don't bend it or anything. Just clip it so it's about 1/4 inch long on the right side, is what I read. And then on your trigger springs from the factory, they're straight here, and they keep that constant angle just straight, and then they have that slight curl up. Don't mess with that, but you move a little bit more than halfway back on it with a set of smooth jawed pliers so you don't mar it up, and you just bend it. You tweak it about 25 degrees. And I mean, if you can pull your trigger out of your AR, you can do this mod no problem. Like I said, I've really liked it. It's helped my groupings a lot. I mean, I'm not an expert shooter by any means, but I have shot a lot of rounds through this rifle. And probably had about 1,200 rounds through the rifle before I really decided, well, maybe I'll do a drop-in trigger or something. But then I realized how expensive they were, and I decided I wanted to do something more affordable, so I got into researching that, and that's the path I went. And since I've done the trigger mod, I've only put about 300 rounds through it, so I mean, I guess we'll see if I do end up having any problems, but I highly doubt I will. It's not developing any creep or anything weird, and it's still firing good every time. But I mean, I guess we'll just see. Worst case scenario, if my mod completely made this trigger junk or whatever you want to call it, then I mean, a drop-in DPMS trigger is what, 49 bucks? So that wouldn't be too horrible. So, but yeah, what you do is you pretty much just eliminate one side of the hammer spring because it's supposed to rest on the pin that goes through the trigger. So I'm surprised with half the power, I still haven't had any problems. Maybe if I ever do it again, I'll try bending that trigger spring 25 degrees or so and just leaving the hammer alone and see if it's going off smooth, no creep or anything. But if I had one laying around, I'd be slapping another factory trigger in there and trying it. But until I have problems with this, which if I don't, I don't. If I do, it's going to be 50 bucks tops. Or I could just buy the spring and it'd probably be like a $5 thing. But from what I've done so far, it's been worth the $5 if I ruined the trigger spring. It's not going to cause any damage to the rest of my rifle. So, yeah, I forgot to put my safety back in. Who needs them anyway? Finger shouldn't be on the trigger till you're ready to fire. So, yeah, that's what I did. And like I said, as of now, I've really liked the results of it. And if I do have any problems, you'll probably be the first one to know after me. Because, I mean, I shoot this gun a lot, more than I can afford to, in all honesty. Even working a full-time job. But, they're a fun gun. If you feel like your factory trigger's lacking a little bit and you want to do it for not too much money, let alone no money, give it a try. Let me know what you think if you try it. Do it on Google, search it on Google. There's been reputable people that said they've been doing this model on them for 15 years and haven't had a problem, so don't just trust some guy on YouTube who's only got 2 videos. So give it a try, let me know what you think. Have a good one.